to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Welcome in. It's football time, yeah. Woo! Yeah, baby.
It's football time.
Not too shabby. The pinch hitter.
It's 3/4 football time. We got two defenses that are going to come to play, and we got one offense that will
What
come
is
to
football
play.
time then? Like a full-on,
Yeah,
like
it's just like a good team against good team.
an offensive.
Actually, full football time, it doesn't have to be good team against good team. Because this is good team against good team.
Right.
Football time is good offense against good offense. That's it.
I thought, see, here I was thinking it was just there was a game tonight.
Yeah.
Silly me.
We've gotten greedier.
Silly me. Welcome in Thursday, November 20th, the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Jason Moore is here. Jay Grizz in the house. Probably have a lot of public demand for Jay Grizz's drops, so just do it.
He's been waiting.
He has.
Jay Grizz!
That hits hard. That hits hard. I'm Andy Holloway. Welcome in. One and all starts of the week, the fantasy forecast today. Interesting news to talk about. It is our League of Record trade deadline day.
Ooh.
Which what we do is we end up kind of extending the deadline. A lot of league formats just like they end at the end of the week. And what we do is we kind of extend it a few extra days and we make the deadline the kickoff of Thursday night football so you can have some excitement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, all leading right up to kickoff
until the beginning. The beginning of the kickoff is, the beginning of the games that week, it's over.
It's almost there though. Final trades being made. Some weird ones in our league, so we'll see what happens in yours. And one thing some people have been asking about, Jason, we mentioned it on the Footcast yesterday, but if you're in the Megala Bowl, in years past, we used to lock rosters in the playoffs and you couldn't sign waivers. That doesn't happen anymore.
No. Now it is.
People have been asking, what's the date?
No, what's the date? It's coming up here. It's the same as every normal league. It's weeks 15, 16, 17.
For the playoffs.
The teams, if you're in the top 6 seeds in your league, you will be in the playoffs. You can check all the standings at megalabowl.com. Just scroll down, click Megalabowl standings, and then you'll see if you're in once the playoffs arrive. I mean, you should already know because the top 6 are in. But as the weeks progress through the playoffs, you could see your score against everyone else's score. Top half move on to the next week. Top half move on to the next week.
And then
the champ is crowned, whoever scores the most.
And then they play in the Listener League.
That's right.
So that'll be fun. We want to remind you, head over to jointhefoot.com if you want to be a part of this fine fantasy football community. The trade analyzer is up and available, going right up to trade deadlines. Or if you're in dynasty leagues and stuff, that's going to be useful all off-season long. You got the premium in-season tools. You got the extra episode of the show every week. You got the ultimate dashboard to optimize those lineups going into the playoffs.
You got the waiver wire tool that will sync with your specific league and show you who is available on your waivers.
And I didn't tell you this, but I've already had some people in our league try to strong-arm me into trades because of the trade analyzer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They're sending you. They're like, you
like,
say this is good.
One of the comments was, it says heavily in your favor, so this is not an official offer, but would you do it?
Oh.
One of those.
Well, then it's not a strong arm if it's not an official offer.
Well, yeah. I mean, there have been more. But check it all out. Jointhefoot.com. Become an official supporter of this fine independent podcast, and, you'll make Al Borland happy over there because his record won't right now.
That's true, but I do have this cool trophy.
Yeah, you can't set up
keep
the
it so close to you.
That's right.
Why do you keep your trophy so close at all
times? It's under my
pillow
pillow at night too.
Oh my gosh, that's an uncomfortable
Do you
sleep.
buckle it up when you drive it back and forth from work?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, he buckles that, but not himself.
Oh, I know that. he buckles the seatbelt before he gets in and then sits on it so it doesn't beep.
Yeah.
We're also setting everything up for another face-off between you and I next year. We're both going into the draft really pick heavy with great keepers.
Yeah, you've done some good work there. I still have some hopes that you get watered this year. We're going to talk news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
I was just totally goofing yesterday when I was like, maybe pick up, Keon Coleman. Maybe.
No, you were goofing.
I was just goofing.
Speaking of goofing,
yeah,
they might have goofed on the draft pick. Keon Coleman is expected to be a healthy scratch for a second consecutive week.
Do you mean they goofed because they took Keon Coleman ahead of Ladd McConkey?
That is what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that seems like
I feel like if you put Ladd on the Buffalo Bills right now,
oh my gosh,
he would be Stephon Diggs when he was on the Buffalo Bills.
They'd be glad.
Yeah.
But no, they're not happy right now. No Dalton Kincaid, no Keon Coleman. So maybe we'll get some shavers tonight, right?
Honestly, you might.
Hey,
it's an interesting name if you're playing DFS or something tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Keon Coleman healthy scratch for a second week means you didn't respond well to the first week.
Right.
You didn't do anything that was expected of you to get back out there and say, hey, whatever late to meetings, whatever thing happened, you're like, you doubled down on nothing's wrong.
And you know what?
It's speculation.
Right, it's
I'm
speculation.
not saying I know the answer.
Here's what we do know. They're benching him again.
Yeah.
So it's one of two things. It's either on Keon Coleman or it's on the Bills, meaning it's on Keon Coleman. He didn't respond the right way. He, threw a bigger fit, whatever it was. Or the Bills looked at the film and said, we just put up 44 points. We liked these guys and how they were participating in the offense better than what we have when we have Keon Coleman. And that might be the reason, too. Might have just been a flat demotion.
There was another Coleman with high hopes that once got benched for similar situations, and his name was Corey Coleman, if you recall, who played for Cleveland and then played for Buffalo, I think, for a little while, and never
became what he was supposed to be.
So
one of the great bust picks in NFL history.
Lamar Jackson did not practice on Wednesday. Ankle injury. We'll monitor that.
He didn't practice last week either, although I don't think it was an ankle, so he's going to play.
Yeah, they just pick a body part for Wednesday. Isaiah Likely, the calf, didn't practice. The Rams placed Tyler Higbee. Well, what are you laughing at over there?
It just sounded
my
like
wording?
You said his calf didn't practice, but the rest of them.
Yeah, he left. He didn't use one calf. Tyler Higbee went to IR with the ankle injury. David Njoku didn't practice on Wednesday, probably maintenance on the knee. The Cardinals did open up the 21-day window for running back Trey Benson, who was limited on Wednesday. I did watch some of that film.
I did as well.
I don't imagine he'll be out there this week.
He will not be. He's not going to play, but he was at least in pads. He was making some cuts. He looked pretty good. So certainly someone that should be rostered in all leagues. If for some reason he is on your waiver wire, pick him up. He will be an important starting running back on an offense that's moving with Brissett. And that needs, really, if you put the three running backs together for the Cardinals, it's been good numbers for their running game. It's just you don't know if it's been DeMarcado. No, he's injured. No, Michael Carter. No, it's Bam Knight. They need Trey Benson. And so when he comes back, he's going to be very valuable down the stretch.
I agree. Bashaw Tootin, Travis Etienne limited on Wednesday. Brian Thomas Jr. as well for Jacksonville. The big news that I don't see in here, but I think is kind of the biggest headline news of all is Joe Burrow has not been ruled out this week. As of this recording, as of any news that I can find, you're a full practice on Wednesday when Joe Flacco is limited.
Yeah.
Why are you doing? I think he might play.
I'm starting to think he might as well. It's funny. I was talking to someone yesterday, and he was saying, "Hey, the full practice participant for Burrow," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, but I don't expect him to start yet." But then it was like Joe Flacco's limited. So Burrow's playing all the reps with the first team. It's not.
It's at least possible.
Yeah, it's at least possible. Now, I don't know if his first game back wants to be the game where he doesn't have Jamar Chase. Of course, from Burrow's perspective, I'm sure he's thinking, if we don't have Chase, I've got to be there for this game.
Oh, every game right now is do or die for that team for any chance of the playoffs. Bucky Irving limited for Tampa. Chris
Very
Godwin.
limited.
Chris Godwin as well.
I was watching. He wasn't in pads.
Those guys aren't playing this
No.
And then a bunch of players got sick in Tampa, basically. Baker Mayfield, Emeka Egbubu, and a bunch of offensive linemen all out due to illness.
Ooh.
So they shared some tenderloin or something.
Been there, brothers.
And we'll cover some other injury situations. There's some running backs that we don't know what's going to happen. We'll do all that during today's matchup breakdown. So that was News and Notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. Before we get into the matchups, let's talk starts.
Starts of the week, presented by Tostitos.
Well, Jason, it's time for starts of the week. I have a rookie platter.
I saw that this morning. You're going all rooks.
Yeah,
this is the time of year where the rookies come to help win championships.
Yeah, I wasn't necessarily trying to head that way, and then I ended up with a few starts that were rookies, and then I got the news. I had Goff in as my start of the week. He was my streamer. I'd love to give another name. And then you see the positive practice report. Limited practice for Jackson Dart.
I like it.
And Jackson Dart will take on Detroit this week, so that's the Goff versus Jackson Dart. I like both sides of it. You like Jackson Dart right now in 7 starts. He's averaging 23 fantasy points a game. He rushes for 45 yards. I did happen to catch did you ever see the conversation between him and Gruden?
Oh, yeah, where he basically
like Gruden
called the perfect shot. He said, I want you to change your play style because if you keep doing this, you're going to end up injured or in the concussion protocol. And then that video goes around while he's in concussion protocol.
Yeah, and like Gruden was brutal. He's like, this is stupid. So hopefully that changes, but he's been great for fantasy. I'll go with Jackson Dart as my start of the week.
I like it because I think people are worried with that first game back, but it's not a soft tissue issue, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going with Brock Purdy as my start of the week versus Carolina on Monday Night Football. Brock looked great. He's had 3 starts this year, 2+ touchdowns in each of them. He was the quarterback 6 this last week. And the Panthers, they can't rush the pass. They're 31st in pressure rate. From a clean pocket right now, the 49ers, Purdy is pretty good. 9 yards per attempt. That's 3rd best in the NFL. Tied with Drake May for 9th in fantasy points per drop back.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was.
The 49ers have 27.8 implied team total, 5th highest of the week. It's an environment that I think is good for Brock, and he's at home in Monday Night Football.
Even his little profile picture right there doesn't dissuade you?
No,
he looks a little
like
a weird toy.
Like a weird toy.
Yeah, that's just not a normal smile. All right, Travion Henderson's my running back start of the week. Mike isn't here. He needs somebody to step up in his absence. Stay in the Flames. Even if Ramondre returns, it's about the matchup as well. Cincinnati, that'll work because their rushing defense is poo-poo.
It's a lot like their passing defense.
Right. They compete.
Yeah.
But 31st in expected points per rush, 31st in rushing yards per game. The Bengals, they're just not going to be, even if you have a better than average performance, you're not going to hold back the big play from Travion Henderson. High expectations this week. We don't know if Ramondre's playing. It doesn't dissuade me from Travion this week, so I'll go another rookie.
Yeah, I like that you're doing that in honor of Mike, who's not here. In honor of Mike, who's not here, my start of the week is Kenneth Walker III.
Wow.
Ken Bone.
Travion and Ken Walker being our starts of the week
while Mike's gone.
5 weeks ago.
But we have to do it while Mike's gone.
We can't possibly give him a validation.
Yeah, exactly. I would never.
Hate those guys.
Yeah. These guys suck. Ken Bone Walker III. He was running back 11 last week on 19 opportunities. That's been his most in almost 2 months. Coach came out and said what we've been wanting him to say, which is Kenneth Walker is earning more opportunities. Andy Yu went out and definitely traded for him recently. And it just completely fleeced the Falcon. The Titans' rush defense, 29th in yards before contact allowed, 31st in rushing touchdowns allowed. The Seahawks are 13.5-point road favorites. So it's a perfect game script, and I think Walker breaks a big play just like Hendo.
Well, my wide receiver start of the week is going to be Tracy McGrady.
Nice. I like it. Not Tet.
Shooting guard. I'm not calling him Tet because he doesn't want to be called Tet. So T-Mac, Tetaroa McMillan against San Francisco on Monday Night Football. You saw the ceiling last week, 8 for 130 from the NFC's Player of the Week, Bryce Young. This game really moved the needle on the season totals, on the season total projections. It all transformed where he was heading. He is one of 6 rookie wide receivers since 2015 with a 26+% target share in that rookie season. He is tied with Trey McBride over the last month for the most receptions in the league. A true go-to receiver, and I'm going to go right back to him in this matchup. And I'm facing him this week. Does not excite me.
I hate that.
Doesn't excite me.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. We're here for the Foot Clan first. My wide receiver start of the week, Devontae Smith at Dallas.
Okay.
I will never quit Devontae Smith. I know last week he had 1 catch for 8 yards. Philly fans are upset at their Super Bowl champion team that is not losing many games. They're upset because their offense hasn't been good. Dallas is here to cure the ills. Dallas's defense is better. It is better. I don't want to just look at season-long totals with some of the additions they made after the bye week, getting some injured players back. They looked good against the Las Vegas Raiders, but they now are not the Cincinnati Bengals. They are now a bottom-half defense, and they are still a bottom-half defense.
I think what's really improved for them has been the running and rushing defense. I think that's what Quinnen brings to the table.
Yeah.
Quinnen's not been able to get to the passer as much, but stopping the run, that's what they've reinforced, even with the Parsons trade. That's what they're trying to do. So that again, lends itself towards maybe Saquon isn't relied upon as much if they can slow that down.
And the nice thing is this game is in Dallas. The biggest issue here is the Philly defense has been so good that they don't need to pass. But the fact that the game is in Dallas, I like the fact that Dallas might be able to actually score on Philadelphia a little bit, and then they need to throw the ball. Devontae Smith is going to be in my lineup.
All right, I'm going to round out the rookie platter here with Colston Dogland. That's right, taking on Pittsburgh. I'm going Colston Loveland. Steelers, it's about the matchup. 30th in schedule-adjusted fantasy points allowed to the tight end. He's right on the fringe of the wide receiver 1, even in our consensus rankings
tight
this
end
week. What did I say?
Wide receiver 1?
We'll see. No,
I will be shocked.
Tight end 1. And Loveland is a big play type of player. I think you're going to get a big play this week against the Steelers. It's a huge game for Chicago. And so I'm going to go – there's a handful of tight ends I actually kind of like this week compared to some previous weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Loveland to round out the rookie rundown here.
I'm going with what should hopefully be a layup in Hunter Henry against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals defense is, as we all know, it's very bad. But while they're bad against the run and they're bad against the pass, they are worst against tight ends. They give it up every single week to tight ends. There's a 29-point team implied total, the second highest of the week. I want pieces of this game. And specifically, I mean, you against the Bengals defense, you can essentially blindfold yourself with a grenade launcher and you'll hit the target. Okay. It's great to play the tight end. I mean, the Bengals are on pace to allow the most fantasy points of all time for the tight end position. So when I say they're bad, they're worst against tight end, I mean they're worst of all time. So yeah, Hunter Henry, he's okay. He goes out there, gets 3 catches, 50 yards. He's a part of the offense. And then every now and then he's the tight end 1 on the week. And this is one of those weeks where it's like he's going to go out and end up with 2 touchdowns.
My only concern about this game is if, you don't have Jamar Chase, if Burrow doesn't play and, the game script flips and you don't get as much passing work.
That's why you took Hendo. It makes sense. But I do think that they're still going to throw the ball for, 3 quarters or at least for a half. And that's enough to exploit the giant gaping hole in the Bengals defense.
Yeah, they don't see tight ends.
No.
That was Starts of the Week presented by Tostitos. Tostitos is the proud chip and dip sponsor of the NFL again this season. Sold nationwide online and at your local grocery store. Visit Tostitos.com for more information. We'll take a break. We'll get into the forecast. All right, it's time for Week 12. Let's do it.
Fantasy Forecast, presented by Prize Picks.
We get the Colts and Saints back from the bye. The Broncos, Chargers, Commanders, and Dolphins are taking a week off, and so you've got to find those starts and sits that make a difference. Pittsburgh 6-4, the Bears 7-3. That's our first matchup of the day, Jason. Vegas line here, Chicago at home, -2.5. Over-unders 45.5. This is a battle between 2 division leaders. Shout out to the Steelers and Bears fans for coming this far. Chicago's defense, 30th in yards per play, but number 1 in turnovers forced. They remind me of a handful of defenses in years past. Cardinals were like this a few years ago, where They give up a lot of yards, but they make big plays and they keep your team in the game, and they can do it that way. We'll see what happens here. I mean, Aaron Rodgers didn't practice on Wednesday. I believe the quote I saw this morning was like, it'll be about safety, is what he said, with the broken hand. And whether he can play safely, I guess, the game of football.
Yeah. I know he loves playing in Chicago. I watched him an interview of like how much he's basically smirking and talking about how he's, owned the Chicago Bears as a Packer, and he hopes he can play against Chicago again. Chicago, my understanding, they love Aaron Rodgers. Chicago's a big fan of that guy.
I don't think you're being serious.
I don't think I'm being serious either.
No,
I mean, the whole world dislikes him, but I think there's a special kind of dislike and hatred for Bears fans.
Jaylen Warren and in the running back room on the other side, I think those discussions start us off here. I mean, Warren didn't practice Wednesday. It seems like they're going to try to get him back out there.
Yeah, last I heard was he wasn't practicing. It'll be slow, but they're hopeful that they have him this week.
Which would put Gainwell on your bench?
Yeah.
Or in a flex?
No. The matchup is really good. I mean, the Bears for the last couple of years haven't really been good against running backs. The last 6 weeks they've been better. So I do think that whoever the starter is needs to be started. Jaylen Warren's been great. If he's there, I'll put him back in my lineup. Kenny Gainwell has been outstanding, and if Warren is gone, Gainwell's an excellent start. But I don't want to start. I feel like the only way Gainwell has you can always get touchdowns, but I think it would take a re-aggravation to the ankle injury, and that's not a bet. Like if you had to say Jaylen Warren is starting, what percentage chance is it that he re-aggravates that ankle? I'd say 15%. That's not a bet I want. I don't want to put a 15% bet on.
Well, and we have evidence here, right? He was the running back 4 in week 4. They go into the bye week. Jaylen Warren comes back. His opportunities on the ground, 6.3530. So it wasn't, and last week it really came down to the receiving game, right? Like he had 2 receiving touchdowns. It wasn't even, it was 9 for 24 on the ground. So it would be a really risky play. I'd rather play a Michael Carter in Arizona than a second fiddle Kenneth Gainwell personally.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift, they keep limiting him on Wednesday, but he'll be back out there. Monangai is purely a touchdown or bust play, which, look, that's worked out for 2 straight weeks where you got the touchdown. Last week he actually had 12 carries on the ground, just turned it into 23 yards.
Yeah, I wouldn't rely on that. Certainly not in your average week, and definitely not against the Steelers defense. Adjusted for schedule, they're 5th against running backs this year. Throw on the Steelers easier than you run on the Steelers.
Temperature check on DK Metcalf. Alec Pierce against the Kansas City defense or DK Metcalf in this game against Chicago?
Oh, that's really I would go Metcalf over Alec Pierce. My temperature is very chilly. I'm not excited for Metcalf, but I do think he is the alpha. He's used around the goal line, and the matchup against the Bears is much, much better than the matchup against the Chiefs. It's wild. I mean, his yardage the last 6 games, 50, 55, 6, 35, 49. That's a bad 55. That's why I whispered it. Rome Odunze, I guess I'm a little curious your perspective on the, we saw what the Steelers did last week with Jalen Ramsey. You've had DJ Moore out there. He's had the very, very occasional good game. Good comments from Ben Johnson this morning around Luther Burden and the earned opportunities. How are you breaking down this wide receiver room? I'm a little nervous about Odunze having top-flight production. I am too. With the Ramsey matchup, I think that this is a good week to spread it around. Maybe that helps your Colston Loveland start of the week. I expect him to lead the team in targets, but he has led the team in targets a lot of weeks recently where he hasn't gotten it done. Last week, it's been a little red light, green light. Yeah, 6 targets, only 2 for 41. Now, Rome is definitely someone you can start. He's a target leader for a team against in a matchup at home where the opponent gives up a lot of points to fantasy wide receivers. So I believe he is a wide receiver 2, but like a low-end wide receiver 2. Okay. That was the end of that sentence. That was it. Yeah, it looked like I thought you were going to keep going for a second. Okay. Well, I think if you're planning on playing Odunze, you probably... Would you play Rome Odunze or Michael Wilson? That's I'm looking at my rankings, and those guys are really, really close. I would play Michael Wilson. I think I would too, and that's not how my rankings are right now.
I think that's.
But I have Rome on my team, and if I had Michael Wilson, I would start him over him.
I think that because Harrison's missing another week and the yardage totals that you feel safe with Jacoby, the fact that they can stop the run in Jacksonville, I lean that direction. And we talked about Colston Loveland already. New England is 9-2. They take on the 3-7 Cincinnati Bengals. They've got such an uphill climb. Vegas line here, New England -6.5. The over-under is a beautiful 50.5 points. The line did shift from 8.5 to 6.5 with the potential for Joe Burrow to return. The game is in Cincinnati. Like, this would be one I actually think could be kind of almost upset territory with Burrow out there. It's just missing Chase is a big deal. And coming back from injury to face New England, I just don't know if they can get it done. And the Patriots are rolling. Now, their schedule's been great, but they've won all the games. I mean, you're just doing what you're supposed to do. 8 straight wins, and Cincinnati's defense, we've talked about it at length, doesn't give you enough to really compete sometimes. And so, you play Drake May, of course. You play Travion. I'm comfortable with Diggs. I'm even comfortable flexing Mac Hollins if Kayshon Boutte misses another week.
If Boutte is active, would you be fine putting Boutte in your lineup?
I think if he's active, they're bringing him back because he's fully active,
and then
healthy.
And then I've got Hunter Henry as my start of the week. This is certainly a game script where, like I said, I want pieces of the Patriots offense. They probably all don't get it done, but I could see a world where they all get it done.
Do you care about, the Patriots defense in the last 6 weeks? Yes, the matchups haven't been amazing, but do you look at it and say, I'm worried about Chase Brown because they've been so good against running backs?
Yeah, they have. That is like the one place where they've really shut people down. Both the last 6 weeks, even on the course of the season, they're number one against, in fantasy points given up to running backs. Thankfully, Chase Brown gets a lot of the dump-offs, and that hopefully will give him a high enough floor. But he's been top 15 each of the last 4 weeks.
14 targets 2 weeks ago, 8 targets this week.
Yeah, and then if Jamar Chase is out,
even more.
He's going to have a lot. So I expect him to finish around running back 15. He should probably still be started in most lineups.
Higgins is a must-start in this game. He has always been great without Jamar Chase available, and they're going to need to throw the ball a ton.
Averages 8.8 targets and 102 receiving yards without Jamar Chase.
And Yoshi Voss.
I picked him up in a league to play him.
Okay.
Andre Yoshi Voss, spelled with an I if you're looking for him on waivers.
I is for Yoshi.
Right. I-O-S. Yosh.
And then Mike did mention Noah Fant. I don't feel amazing about it, but I could see it working out.
I get it. I really do get it, because in those games, if Burrow is back, I kind of like. I think I would play with Fant.
Okay. The Giants
throw the ball around.
Right? No, we got you. The Giants at 2-9 taking on the 6-4 Detroit Lions. Highest implied point total of the week. Detroit at home in this one. I love all of the Detroit in this game.
Yeah.
They're 10.5-point favorites. The over-under is 50.5. They're coming off a loss, which they don't lose a lot. But when they do, they come back with a vengeance.
They do.
I love Jared Goff. He is the honorary start of the week. He's a stream of the week. Gibbs, yes. Amon-Ra and Jameson. Jameson's been the wide receiver for 16, 3, and 8 the last 3 weeks. I think it's great again this week.
Yeah, no Laporta means that both of those guys can have big games in the same game. Obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs is started in every situation always, but this is the game script where he could and maybe should be the running back one on the week. The only question mark on that entire side of the roster is David Montgomery.
It really is a question mark, too.
I have David Montgomery on my team, and I'm still hemming and hawing as to whether or not I'm going to start him.
0 carries inside the 5 the last 2 weeks does not help.
It doesn't help. Now, Dan Campbell came out and said that they want to get Monty the ball more.
I feel like they said that like 3 weeks ago.
They did. They said that.
They know that they're the ones that control that, right?
Yeah, but when you say it and then it doesn't happen, and you say it again, I feel like it's going to happen. But
last
week was against Philly, right? Philly truly and utterly dominated their offense. They had
15
to turn
carries the week before, which was the second highest of the year.
Yeah, they had to turn to the passing game, which didn't work either. And so David Montgomery ended up 6 carries for 27. I think you should play him.
Let's play him. I mean, the Giants, 27th against the run in the last 6 weeks, 31st on the year.
Monty's getting a touchdown in this game.
I do hope that the Giants can – I hope Jackson Dart comes back, and I hope that they can keep up a little bit.
Yep.
We don't know about Darius Slayton's availability. I don't know if you saw this. You know who was out there getting up all the work in lieu of Slayton, which should be on the radar, especially with Dart returning? Isaiah Hodgins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had the majority of 5 or 6 catches in that game. If Slayton is out and Dart is back, I like Hodgins more in this game than I like Yoshi Voss.
Really?
I do.
I would
that's just
go Yoshi
my
Voss,
opinion. But I think Hodgins, we saw him. We've seen him before. He's just a dude that can step up into that role and be super, kind of like Sterling Shepard when needed or something. You know, you get production. And who else is going to do it?
All right, I am starting David Montgomery.
You made that call.
I made that call.
Right here on the show.
On the show.
All right, well, Jackson Dart, start of the week here. I think the opportunity is there. Dart is just too automatic with the rushing totals. What about the Tracy Singletary situation?
I'm going to avoid both of them. They are splitting work, and they've both been pretty good. I think both will be pretty good going forward again, but when you're splitting work and you're playing against the Lions, who usually for years now have shut down the run on the vast majority of their games, I don't want 15 points split up between 2 players.
Monangai or either starter here?
Either starter here. Monangai is out for me. That's also
well.
A
I only brought it up because I feel like the only way you're happy with these 2 guys is going to be them falling into the end zone like Monangai. So,
yeah.
I'm not really messing around with tight ends in this game with Laporta out. I think Brock Wright would be like desperation town.
No one needs to go to Brock Wright. You don't. You
it's
just
all
don't
the
need
7
to go that
targets. Yeah, you don't need to. Minnesota's 4-6. They take on the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. 6-3-1, and Green Bay 6.5-point home favorites. Over under is 41.5. All right, here we go again, JJ.
9.
I don't like the vibes, man.
What do you mean? He is rewiring neurological pathways, Andy.
That can't possibly be a quote from him.
That is a quote from him about what 9 is doing.
And he makes the analogy of a cork just about to come off the bottle.
It's just about ready to pop.
Any minute.
I hope so. I really do.
I'm worried.
The mental aspect of the game is very legitimately important. The things that made Tom Brady or Michael Jordan better is not just the physical tools. Yeah. It is the mental aspect of the game. It is that neurological thing that they have that others don't.
Well, it's like you had all the physical tools.
Right, and it was just like
you were held back
weak of mind.
Mentally.
Weak of mind.
Yeah.
And so I do love players working on the mental side of the game. This feels a little Russell Wilson mental side of the game, like Danger Witch. It's like I'm just not confident that it feels like this is real try hard. Real. Like I don't have a tough guy in me, so I'm
limited.
Yeah, so I'm trying to come up with it.
It's all
unlimited.
It's all stuff we
unlimited.
We can buy into if the results are there.
Yeah, it really is true.
And you watch last week and you see how inaccurate and how many times he missed these receivers, and then you see Justin Jefferson, how frustrated he is. Mike told me in confidence that he regrets his Jefferson trade.
Yeah. He's going for a championship. He traded his largest bullet, if you will, the biggest piece of ammunition he had for Justin Jefferson. That was his move to put him over the top, and now it feels like he traded for a wide receiver too.
Yeah, and a bet on Jefferson is a bet on McCarthy. So again, you have confidence in Kevin O'Connell. Like if there's ever if you were in any situation, if McCarthy was on any other team, and you're like, this dude's struggling, you'd be like, it'd be nice if you had Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it would be the most sports media garbage to a couple games we're done. No. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous.
He can absolutely. I think all 3 of us believed in McCarthy coming out of college. The college tape, he was highly accurate. He didn't throw that much because with the team he was on, they were usually in a lead, and he was more of a game manager. But when he threw, he was outstanding. He has not looked the same, and now he's talked about how they have really, really, really worked on changing the mechanics, how he throws the ball. They want it different, and I think he's struggling with that right now.
They don't like the straight up into the sky?
I think that's the struggle right now. I do think brighter days are ahead. Are they ahead?
Nope,
as
not
soon
in Lambeau.
As this week in Lambeau? Yeah,
no.
Probably not.
So, no, I did talk about a tough environment with that defense and Michael Parsons bearing down on you. And probably
I found a way to play Brock Wright, tight end for the Lions.
You did?
Yeah. If I had TJ Hawkinson on my team.
Oh.
You don't have to do TJ Hawkinson.
Well, I mean, TJ Hawkinson was wide open last week down the sideline. Didn't you see that play? He just, the ball was just about 45 feet over his head. But, yeah, don't play Hawkinson. That ship has sailed. McCarthy, if you want to take pressure off him, maybe some utility of Aaron Jones, right? I mean, that would be the one area where the Packers defense is slightly average as opposed to above average.
And it's a legit revenge game for Aaron Jones. He's had a couple revenge games against the Packers since he left the Packers. All of them have been pretty good. Not like, number one running back on the week, but certainly a top 15 running back. I think Aaron Jones is a good play. 22 opportunities last week. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and then where are you with Addison? Like, Jefferson gets the start no matter what because you just don't bench him.
Yep.
And you hope you get a special game.
Addison is the one that you're allowed to bench and feel okay about it. But he's
Alec Pierce or Jordan Addison?
Alec Pierce.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah, we were on fire with Addison for a little while there.
Who would have thought how much people love Carson Wentz?
Yeah, he's got a little Winston in him. On the other side, we're monitoring the Josh Jacobs situation. Do we have any news on
He did not practice Wednesday.
Right, but any Thursday updates here? We're getting to the point where we might be able to find out a little East Coast information.
We'll take a look.
Is Green Bay East Coast? That's not East Coast, is it?
Wisconsin? They're probably on Central.
I'm on it.
They're probably on Central. I don't actually know.
They are Central.
Okay. Yeah. It's weird though, because like Brooksy's on East Coast.
Right. And he's not too far away.
He's in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
And to me, they're all clumped. They're all together. Right in the middle upper part of the country where there are no mountains and there are frigid lakes.
And they call it West.
Cheese. They make
call
cheese
it the
out there.
Midwest. And it's not.
It's the Midwest,
West.
but it's way north.
And not west. So it's only west of the ocean.
Right. It's
east.
west of where they founded the country.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's where they thought maybe it all ended.
Yeah.
We are historians here. Christian Watson, I'm down to clown.
Yeah. I think that's the one wide receiver I would play with. Romeo Doubs has been the higher targeted player. He had some drops, Romeo drops last week.
No, I play Watson over him for the big play.
I agree. The big play and the touchdown opportunity is usually Watson.
And obviously, you're all about Matthew Golden. You start him in all situations.
I have finally, I don't usually cut rookie, high drafted wide receivers or running backs. I'll roster them all year waiting for the breakout. But with Matthew Golden, it's like confirmation bias because I never thought he was good and he shouldn't have been a first-round pick, but I was willing to just be like.
I've dropped him and picked him up a handful of times. Nobody cares that he's sitting out there on the waiver wire. By the way, we did get an update. Josh Jacobs stayed limited on Thursday. I'd be shocked if he didn't stay limited right up to game time. And we've been here with Josh Jacobs. He generally plays.
Yeah, but
he fights through injury. I would think game time decision, I bet you, is what we hear tomorrow.
So I would agree that could happen. I worry about his workload. Like when he was struggling with some injuries a while ago.
I do too.
He's usually a 20 carry guy or somewhere up there. And he came the other week and he had like 13 carries. They worked Emmanuel Wilson in, and I would expect that to be.
I think you're not going to be happy without a touchdown.
Yeah, he'll be like the running back 20.
You're going to play him?
If he's active, I will play him.
Okay. Let's take a break.
Wait. Would I play him over David Montgomery? Should I play him over David Montgomery?
If he was active, I would.
Yeah, that's tough.
He's Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. All right.
That's probably what I would do. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back and see if Sam Darnold can get it done against Tennessee.
All right. We are in the heart of the fantasy season, and the injuries are already piling up. ACLs, stingers, and turf toes, oh my. In fact, the only thing right now that feels good is having the perfect backup ready to go. So wouldn't it be great if you had a perfect backup in real life too? With Progressive, you get more than just a policy. You get a playbook full of coverage options that you can count on for your home or for your auto. You want to customize your protection? No problem. You can build your coverage just like your fantasy team, making sure you got the right players in every position and a backup plan when you need it most. And when life throws an audible, like that fumble in the driveway or a hailstorm at home, Progressive is there with 24/7 support. Don't get caught without a great backup. Visit Progressive.com to quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party issuers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to term, policy, limits, and conditions.
Well, let's take a quick second to thank our sponsor, Jimmy John's, also the new sponsor of our Sunday Live segment. Jimmy John's is here to keep you fueled through Sunday football, and they just rolled out their toasted sandwiches last year, but they didn't stop there. They now have a limited-time offer. We tried them all here in the office. Jimmy John's is bringing you pizza sandwiches. You had me at pizza sandwiches. Available in 2 flavors. Enjoy a melty combination of Parmesan, provolone, mozzarella cheese, spread with marinara and oregano basil on perfectly toasted French bread with their 3-cheese pizza sandwich. And if you need something with more protein, you can do what I did, which is accidentally steal one of the other employees' sandwiches, and I ended up with the Sicilian pizza sandwich layered with salami, capicola, and ham. And, of course, spread with deliciously melted mozzarella cheese on top of it as well. Oh, that's good. Jimmy John's new pizza sandwiches available in 2 flavors, 3-cheese pizza sandwich and Sicilian pizza sandwich at participating locations for a limited time while supplies last. Seattle 7-3, Tennessee 1-9, and to be clear, should be 0-10. The Arizona Cardinals donated. Amari DiMercato donated a game.
Yeah,
to Cam Ward and his family.
That was a game of historic collapse. You know, it's like never before seen. What was it, 19 points in 2 minutes or something like that in the fourth
the Cardinals
quarter.
were running into the end zone on a 73-yard touchdown to put the game away when DiMercato dropped the football, and it was still from that point on impossible to come back, and the Cardinals gave it up.
And then it was still impossible even when Cam Ward threw an interception.
Oh, yeah, that we fumbled
into their end zone, and then they laid on it for a touchdown.
Right.
That was how they got their touchdown, was we intercepted their ball.
Yes.
I mean,
so, look.
So the Titans are
this game is
bad.
This game's over before it starts. This game is the lowest implied point total of any team on any game the entire season. So the Tennessee Titans, they have scoring 13.5 points. So here's the simple solution to that problem. You start 0.0 Tennessee Titans, and I do mean including Tony Pollard.
I was looking on Prize Picks, making a lineup for this week, and I was looking at passing touchdowns, and the 0.5
not even a green goblin
projection. It was a red demon.
Oh,
it was like this is gonna be tough, man.
So they said that's
for him
a
to
tough
get one.
game. Yeah, no, I look
one like
Seattle's defense is amazing. They're coming off of a loss. Cam Ward has no options in the receiving game, and the ones he does have are hurt or limited, right? DK and IMAGN. You just lost Ridley again. Pollard is probably the most dull and uninspiring fantasy start of the season.
Yeah.
Who last week was 10 for 22 on the ground and just biding his time until he can leave this team. And Tajay Spears, I don't want to start him either.
No, Tony Pollard.
Just bench them all.
Tony Pollard is the absolute starter. Only one game this year that he hasn't had at least 10 carries, double-digit opportunities the entire year, and hasn't scored 10 fantasy points since week 5. We're in week 12.
I mean, I don't know.
He hasn't missed games. This is just every week. It's like 7, 4, 5, 6 points. That's what you're getting from Tony Pollard.
I'm
it's not changing
against the
Seahawks.
Sean Tucker.
Absolutely. Sean Tucker would be ahead of Tony Pollard.
Everybody I can ahead of him. Michael Carter, Bam Knight.
Would you play Tajay Spears ahead of him just for the hope of a big play?
Yes, because Spears will catch 5 passes. And you hope one of them does something, which it probably won't, but it might.
And don't hear what we're not saying. Don't play Tajay Spears.
I'd play Amari and Hampton over Pollard this week.
Yeah, and Spears, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Omari and Hampton's
injured on a bye.
Yeah, I mean, he's not.
But still higher upside.
Huge upside. Huge upside. He's not doing nothing. He's training.
There's a better chance of him scoring 6 fantasy points is all I'm saying. On the other side, you have Kenneth Walker as your start of the week. I think the opportunities will be there. It was great to see the coach come out and say he's earned them. It's not going to be hard to maintain them because he's a better runner than Charbonnet. They do trust Charbonnet in a lot of situations. I think Sam Darnold, he's probably not throwing 4 quarters, but 2 in this game might be enough for the fantasy production. I think you could go back to that well.
Yeah, I figure in a 6-point league, you should be around 18 fantasy points from Darnold.
Lay of the land at the wide receiver position. Unfortunately, it's just JSN still. Rashid Shaheed's just.
Did you say unfortunately?
I'm saying unfortunately in that there was optimism. Mike brought it up. He thought Shaheed could be relevant there, and he's only 3 for 30 in 2 full games since coming over. So
I think he will be relevant there on some deep shots in important games.
But I mean, that's the same for Horton. That's the same for Kupp.
Sure, yeah. I think this is fortunate because I didn't want Rashid Shaheed to come over here and take away my sweet JSN.
I don't think he can. I think he can only.
So good.
I think he can only help. So I mean, right now JSN is just a dominator, so it's not complicated. I do not have confidence that Barner will give you a back-to-back tight end week. I looked into this a little bit this week. They obviously he played great last week. He had 10 catches for 70 yards. This is not the game that I think they need him. That's all I'm saying. Like the week before, he had no catches. He had 1 catch 2 weeks before that. He could get into the end zone, but I don't expect it. I think the running game will get it done against Tennessee. Running game plus JSN is the equation that I'm looking at. So I would not actually like Barner is would you play Schultz tonight? I'd probably play Schultz, even though I know the matchup's not great. I'd probably do that over Barner personally.
Yeah, Schultz has been super involved. I hate that matchup. Like Schultz was my start of the week last week. I want to keep riding the flame that he's in with Davis Mills, but yeah, I would probably take him over Barner.
The Colts.
Do you know how many receiving yards JSN is on pace for?
I do not. Can I take a shot?
Sure.
A guess?
Yeah.
You thought about not letting me guess.
Well,
I don't know why you thought about that.
First, do you know?
You were like, maybe I won't let you guess.
All right, guess.
1,700.
So that's what Jamar Chase did last year, 1,700, which obviously Jamar Chase won everybody their fantasy league. He's on pace for 1,948.
It's a lot.
That's near the all-time record. Jason,
imagine how much better that would have been had you not let me guess. The Colts are 8-2. They take on the 5-5 Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City minus 3.5 at home. The over/under is 50.5. This game's crazy.
This game.
This game's crazy.
When I'm making my prize,
the implications.
My prize picks lineups
because of the implications.
Because of the implications.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. When I was making my prize picks lineups, I'm going to all these different stats, and I'm scrolling through, and every time I saw all these players, I mean, this game is chock full of there's so many projections,
there's fantasy options everywhere.
I just skipped it.
Oh yeah,
I just was like, not touching this game, not touching it, because
you know how important this is to Kansas City
and to the Colts. I mean, this is an important game between two teams, both who have right now Super Bowl aspirations. Like the Colts certainly believe they can win a Super Bowl, whether you do or not. The Chiefs, going into last week, were the Super Bowl favorites. The Chiefs' defense at home, oh, man. They're on the season, when you adjust for schedule, they're number 3 against quarterbacks, number 8 against running backs, number 3 against wide receivers, number 7 against tight ends. They have no holes. They have no weakness. They are at home. They are coming off a loss in a must-win game. But the Colts have overcame pretty much every opponent, even the difficult ones, and they've showed up. And so I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know what happens here.
I mean, my first thought on this game is that this is the type of game Daniel Jones really struggles in, which is
I completely agree.
Road game, super confident defense that throws different looks at you that, they can kind of unravel a player like Daniel Jones, and that might be what happens. But I'm also a little bit, Colts are coming off a bye week, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you're coming off a bye week with 2 weeks to prepare for Kansas City, who does have their own problems, right, in their own right, starting with a running game that really hasn't been successful enough and, options that aren't really producing outside of Rashee Rice. Like, I don't know. It's just a very interesting game to me.
Here's the truth. When I was looking at all those lineups, I wanted to take the less on everything for the Colts. I think the Colts I think the Colts will really get handled by the Chiefs. That's kind of how I view it. But I don't personally want to bet against Colts at all. Like every time we've thought like maybe it's not for real and they're coming off a bye, like I could see them showing up and just shocking the world. And if the Kansas City Chiefs are 5-6 after this week,
oh darn!
I mean,
what a shame.
Right now, they're not in the playoffs.
Oh man, that would be so bad.
Give them another loss. That's tough.
Daniel Jones, Patrick Mahomes for fantasy. Mahomes has been crushing at Arrowhead, 260 and almost 3 touchdowns. You play him.
That's an easy Mahomes. Yeah.
Daniel Jones, it's a little more nerve wracking. Like, if I had him or Brissett, I'm playing Brissett, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm playing
Brock
Would you
Purdy.
play Sam Darnold over Daniel Jones?
I think I would play Sam Darnold over. There's 4 games this year where he has been outside a top 12 quarterback, and some of them have been pretty bad. That's the range of outcomes for Daniel Jones. He's not a must start.
Jonathan Taylor is.
He is a must start. The matchup is brutal, and you just don't care.
Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman. Who do you like more, and do you like them both more than like a Michael Wilson?
So Michael Pittman, I love Michael Pittman. He's the wide receiver 11 on the season. If I had to play one of these two guys, I think I might go Pierce just because of the big shot opportunity for a play. I don't love either. I am playing. So my decision that I made of playing Jonathan Taylor, it is over Michael Pittman. I'm sorry, not Jonathan. I will look. I'm going out on a limb. I'll start Jonathan Taylor over Michael Pittman.
Nice.
No, David Montgomery over Michael Pittman.
Okay.
It's going to be tough sledding for the passing game here. I think if the Colts win this game, it has to be on the back of Jonathan Taylor.
And some Tyler Warren.
Yes.
And that's an area where
Tyler Warren has started for sure.
Yeah, you can beat the Chiefs a little bit. Last 6 weeks, giving up 12 points a game to the tight end. That's 18th best in the league. On the other side, Rashee Rice, it was a down week last week. You play him. Kelsey, quietly the tight end 2 on the year. So I guess you stay there.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
That you talk about quiet. That blows my mind.
That's with a bye week. 50 for 631 and 4.
Okay.
And you look at the game log. The game log is like, his consistency ranking right now is a B. It's fine.
Yeah.
And you probably need him in the running game again.
Now, can you start Xavier Worthy?
No.
So
no, silly goose.
But there's still a lot. There's still 4 starts, right? You're starting Mahomes. I think you should start
Kelsey.
You should obviously start Rice, and then you should start Kareem Hunt.
See, I didn't even know the name you were going to say because we got full practice from Pacheco now.
Oh, did we?
I think so.
If Pacheco's back, then I'm.
When you're down to 3 starts.
Yes, then I'm down to 3 starts. But if Pacheco's gone, Kareem Hunt had 80% of the snaps last week. Right now the Chiefs are favored. They're at home. He's been used around the goal line. So, 4 starts if Pacheco doesn't play. If Pacheco plays, no starts at the running back.
I was just curious if there were Pacheco start-sit questions coming in, and there are, like in the popular list. Rashad White, Isaiah Pacheco.
That is perfect. Rashad White or Isaiah Pacheco. I would go White with Pacheco coming right off the injury.
Okay. I think that's it for today's matchups. Injury updates. Aaron Rodgers expected to practice on Thursday. Josh Jacobs will do individual drills in practice today and see where the knee feels going into the weekend. And that was Fantasy Forecast presented by Prize Picks. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Use the code footballers and get $50 in lineups when you play $5. More matchups tomorrow. The awesome, cool Wheel of Shame will happen.
Ooh, fun.
Payback, I think.
Yeah.
And Fantasy Face-Off tomorrow. You don't want to miss it, so come back right here. Make sure you subscribe over on YouTube. Follow the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget the giveaway, footclangiveaway.com. A signed James Cook jersey 1 week away. You can head over there and enter for free. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.